Well, hey there folks, welcome back once again to the Hop House. It's Eddie here, and it's time for another beer review, carrying on with our quintessential British ales. So we're back after a bit of a break. Go check out our previous videos. We did the couple of beers from the Marston's group. So we did Marston's EPA, and we did the Banks's Bitter. Excuse me, they're a bit carbonated. Yeah, they were okay. You know, the EPA was really nice. The Banks's Bitter wasn't bad. So we're carrying on with some more quintessential British ales. So the idea of these is the more traditional. These are your bottled real ales rather than your canned craft beer. And a lot of them you can pick up in your supermarkets in your £4 for £6 range. Or less, as it may be. As the Marston's EPA was £1 and the Banks's Bitter is under. As little as 89 pence in places like Aldi, etc. But now we're going to go down south, mate. We're going to go down south, all right? Yeah? Lovely. Okay, so this is another, I don't know if you call them macro brewery, like a regional brewer, quite traditional, quite old school, been around a while. And it's in Dorset, so probably speak a little bit more like this than like down south Cockney. But, you know, I'm a Yorkshireman in the Midlands, so what the hell do I know about accents? Shall I just show you? So this is from Wadworth Brewery in Devizes, in not Dorset, Wiltshire. Didn't even get the county right, did I? Wiltshire. Wadworth. It's their 6X Original Ale. 6X Original Ale. This is a refreshingly balanced bitter at 4.3% ABV. See there, balanced original ale, refreshingly balanced. It sort of looks and reminds me of Doom Bar in terms of the design of the label, the colour of it, and also the fact that it keeps telling me everywhere it's refreshing and balanced, and probably telling me it's moreish and all that stuff, which is what Doom Bar said. Nothing much on the bottle cap, it's quite plain. This I did get from Asda. It was in the 4 for the price of 3 range. They don't sell it in other supermarkets near to me. I haven't seen it in Morrison's and I haven't seen it in Tesco. I don't go in Sainsbury's, so I just don't tend to shop there. Certainly not in Aldi or anywhere. But they may well be in there. Maybe it's a bit more, if you're a bit more down south than I am in the West Midlands. Right, let's get it out in the glass. Purity glass for this one, so bear in mind it's not great at holding head. Although it doesn't look too bad on this occasion at all. Whee! Look at that. Now this is more what I'd expect from a bitter. Definitely more chestnut colour, copper colour, mahogany, amber to dark red. It's clear, it's see-through, it's been fined, it's been filtered, it's got a slightly off-white, sort of creamy type head. Carbonation's a lot slower than the previous 2 beers I had when it was rushing up the glass. 4.3%. This has been brewed for years, decades and years, and I don't know how long it has. Should have done some more research on that, apologies, to see it say anywhere. But it's been around a long time, and Wadworth in Devizes are one of the traditional brewers, a bit like Sam Smiths are in the town of Tadcaster, and I believe Hook Norton are in the village area of Hook Norton in the North Cotswolds, where they still deliver barrels of beer on a horse and cart to pubs locally. I think it's just in the main town, so Devizes, probably the town of Devizes and surrounding villages. Wadworth do have a string of pubs, as do Sam Smiths. I think Hook Norton may have a couple. I don't think they have a massive amount. But yeah, that's your beer in the glass then. We've got it all out now. There's no sediment floating around. It's not that kind of beer. The head is dissipating a bit, but again, we know this glass doesn't hold head well. Yeah, it looks like I would expect a best bitter. This looks more best bittery than the Banks's that we've done. And the EPA, although the EPA didn't say it was a best bitter, it just said it was a pale ale. Right, shall we get the nose in there? So we're going to give it a whiff, see what we can sniff. yeah, much more best bitter forward, bit of peppery and spiciness, and dry bread from the malted barley. Dry bread all day long, but a bit of peppery spiciness in there, so I'm hoping there's going to be a hoppy finish to it. I'm hoping it's not going to be a bit bland and boring. I have had this on cask before, so it's not a virgin beer review. I wasn't a big fan. It was in one of my local pubs, the Wadworth Brewery pubs that we went to. But they do say that this doesn't travel very well on cask out of Wiltshire. But again, they said that a lot of beers at the time. I mean, I remember Tetley's being good, and the pub at the end of my road was at 11 miles from the brewery, and that was the furthest it'd ever travel back in day. But nowadays they brew it differently, and you can say it's to do with chemicals or what, I don't know what it is, or the type of cask barrel that they use. Don't smell bad. I like the smell of that. Right, bottoms up, down the hatch. Go for a second taste, stand by. Okay, I can see why people drink that and why they like it. Body-wise, when you have it in your mouth, it's not as fizzy and carbonated as the previous two we've just done, and it's thicker. It's got a thicker body, but it's 4.3%, so it's a higher ABV. You expect it to be. The initial taste, yeah, you get that malt down the middle of your tongue. You get slight bitterness down the sides. It's only very slight, and then the aftertaste, it's a bit Doom Bar-esque. It's a bit dry your mouth out. It's a bit. Yeah, it's okay. It's just not really my cup of tea. We'll do some laser vision, and then I'll run through some specific flavours as much as I can. Apologies, the spotlight's right above here, so if it does make the light go up and down a bit, I'm trying to do it so it doesn't. Lace is really nice. Nothing wrong with the lacing on that. Look at it. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, there's still a bit of pepperiness and spice. Not much twiggy, brambly, that hoppy scent to it, but I am getting the pepper, spicy. And that's what goes down the side of your tongue. Slight glance of marmalade mixed with peppery spiciness, and then it just goes bam and just dries out. There's not much finish on that at all. Not much lingering bitterness or anything. It just dries your mouth out. No, it's a shame, really. Right, 6X, the Wadworth Original. Brewed to celebrate Wadworth Original Cooper, Reg Morris, the man who gave 6X its name. Oh, here you go, a bit of history here. Here we go. This will be interesting. This timeless amber-hued ale is malty and fruity on the nose with a balancing hoppy note. Distinctively full-bodied and imminently drinkable. And then it just says contains barley and has it in several different languages. When it tells you it brewed in different countries by different breweries. It says there in the very small writing. There's also some minute writing there on the label, if you can see that. Let's see what it says. In days gone by, X's were used to mark beer strength. 6X was accidentally named by our old Cooper Reg Morris, who started writing 6X rather than 6X's on the barrels. The name affectionately stuck despite the strength being reduced during wartime. So 6X must have been a lot stronger originally then than it is now. Interesting. Refreshingly balanced bitter. It's telling me that refreshingly balanced original ale. It's telling me that twice on the bottle. To me, balanced is where you're getting a bit of sweet and a bit of bitter, whereas this is more, yeah, I suppose, can you call it balanced? It's down the middle. Is it that salty, malty character? Almost. Yes, to an extent. You're getting the bread down the middle of the tongue. The bready maltiness is the aftertaste now that dries your mouth out, and it's just not an aftertaste to look for. I thought I'd pick this up to review it because when I had it on cask, it was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. Excuse me. And my opinions and things on beers changed. And with me going around in a circle and really liking having a resurgence throughout this summer for traditional best bitters, I thought, you know what, Wadworth 6X might not be all that bad. It's just not something that I would drink. It's just a bit meh. It's like Doom Bar. It's like, it reminds me a lot of Doom Bar and Green King Old Speckled Hen, which is just, I'm not going to give it a thumbs down because there is a bit more going about. The body's better. And there is that little tingling of spiciness in the nose and as it goes down the side of your tongue. But the dry out of your mouth is your dry bread. I feel like I've eaten half a loaf of bread, just dry with no butter on it or anything. There are people that love this style of beer. I'm not one of them. It's a thumbs in the middle for me. And what that means is, yeah, if someone bought me a pint of it, I'd drink it again, but I wouldn't overly go out and buy it and look for it. Thumbs in the middle, it's meh beer. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you again for another beer review right here on the Hop House. It's good to be back, baby. Ciao for now, people.